Hey folks, Sunny Fahouri, aka Darth Caboose here with our turn 4 of our second campaign of Let's Play Labyrinth, The War on Terror, 2001-2 question mark. This is the Mission Accomplished campaign, and we have already dealt the new hand of cards out, and we are ready to go. So let us begin with the first card of the Jihadist play. That's going to be Madrasas. Play if first event in Jihadist action phase. It is. Use this and a second card to recruit. Ignore funding. You may recruit in countries marked worse than fair, even if no cell or cadre. Okay, so this is actually a good break for us. They only have one cell, so they're only going to recruit once. So we combine this card with their second card. With a second card. I'm pretty sure this is not both of their cards of the play. Although, why is it first card in Jihadist? Okay, I'm going to consult that little chart here. Madrasas! Including the second. Okay, so I think they're actually going to use both cards to recruit. So this is a lucky break for us. They're kind of using two cards back to back. This card is not used or doesn't fire. I think this is also a nice way for the Jihadists to get a problematic US card out of their hand. Pretty sure that's what happens. Okay. If I'm making a mistake here, please let me know, guys, because Madrasas has always been a card that's given me a little bit of confusion. So they're gonna combine the 1 with a 2 to recruit, and they're going to recruit 3 times essentially. And you may recruit in countries marked worse than fair, so poor countries, even if no cell or cadre. So these guys are gone, and they have 3 recruit operations to use. Okay, so again, I'm going to consult the chart. Madrasas is roll on global table for recruitment, including the second card, and find the closest applicable country. So we're going to do this until that cell is placed, I suppose, or until 3 operation points are spent. So we're going to go ahead and do the first one. We get a 3 and a 2, which is the Caucasus. Now, Caucasus is not targetable because it has to be worse than fair, even if no cell or cadre. And so fair is not worse than fair because fair is fair. So we ignore funding, and they are going to pick the country closest to the Caucasus, and that is going to be not Central Asia. It looks like it's going to be, I think they can pick a country and test, right? Yeah, I think so. So I guess they can technically pick Turkey, but they would have to roll for the test of Turkey, and if it came out fair, then that means they couldn't use it there. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and just again consult. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pick Turkey as the country being, but then again, it doesn't say the test. You may recruit in countries. Oh man, this card is confusing. Okay, I'm going to look at the rules a bit more carefully here and see what happens. Madrasas. Find the closest applicable country. Okay. I mean, it doesn't say you can test the country, so maybe you cannot, because you have to. It has to be worse than good, right? That's what the card says. Oh man, I'm sorry, guys. Just trying to keep things straight here. You may recruit in countries marked worse than fair, even if no cell or cadre. Okay, so it's going to have to be a poor country, and the closest one I can see is Syria or Iraq. So we kind of have to go, okay, well, where's it going to go? Madrasas, random among possibilities. Okay, so we don't use the priorities. We go random among possibilities. So it's going to be either Syria or Iraq, because they're both sort of 2 away from each, either from Turkey or Iran. So it's 1 to 3 is Syria, 4 to 6 is Iraq, and it goes to Syria. So a cell is placed in Syria, and that is it. We can't do anything else with this card. It doesn't do anything else anyway. So that is the end of the Jihadist 2 card play, and it's over to us. To us with our 2 cards. We flip our cards over and we go, whoa, not bad. Ooh, Hariri killed is a fairly safe card because Syria is already all the way to adversary. That's a safe card. Shirak is also safe too. Uyghur, we could play Uyghur too because that kind of gets it out of the way. Okay, I'm going to do some management of stuff here. I'm going to play Uyghur Jihad. So test China. China is hard. Nice. I'm pretty sure that doesn't change the number of soft, so that stays the same. Place a cell in Central Asia if China hard, otherwise in China soft. But there are no cells available because they're already gone. That card is going to be used up. I'm going to put that 1 operations into reserve. And then I'm going to play Hariri killed. Okay, so we'll play the event first. Test Lebanon. Come on, Lebanon. Lebanon is poor. That is a shame. I, by the way, personally am Lebanese, so it's always nice to see how Lebanon comes out in this game. But par for the course. Hariri was just killed, and yeah, I think it's fair to say that Lebanon's a poor country. Okay, shift Syria to adversary and worsen the governance 1 level, but not the Islamist rule. So it's poor, so that's pretty much it. So this card is kind of not too bad. It just tests Lebanon out. We'll combine those 2 ops with the 1 ops to do a disrupt action in Iraq, removing these 2 cells. Back to the funding track. Back to the funding track you go. And now there's only 2 cells. There's the unremovable Sadr and this guy over there. That gets us a prestige. Again, on the meteoric rise, back up to success. That was our 2 cards. It is over to the jihadists now with their 2 cards of the game. Oops, we should not know what that is. Lakshar-e-Taiba. Place a cell each in Pakistan or India, and India, blocked by Indo-Pakistani talks. Okie dokie. So this is an event that happens because there are cells in the track. So a cell is placed in Pakistan and a cell is placed in India. And then this guy is deleted. Okay. For our next trick, we will see the second card, which we already know what it is. It is Kashmir. Oh, no, it's Wahhabism. Whoops. Okay. Add the number on Saudi Arabia's governance to funding, or set it to 9 if it's Islamist rule. So Saudi Arabia's funding is at 3, and this is a playable non-US event, so it does something, and it goes to 9. Okay, key thing to note here. If the jihadist funding was at 9, that event would still fire. However, I do know that the expansion to Labyrinth, well, the mini expansion, the Ziploc bag expansion as they call it, which is Labyrinth the Awakening, which I will hopefully be playing a campaign of later, is one that has a new set of bot rules coming out. And I think in that one, it actually considers events like the one we just played as ones that have no effect and therefore are not used for the event, but are instead used for something else. By the way, really looking forward to that campaign. I can't wait to try it out. Although there are a lot of rules to the Awakening. Anyway, side note aside, we'll get back to the game. So that was our 2-card play, and we are done with their turn. It is over to the United States and their attempts to, I don't know, respond, I guess. Okay, so we have some more nice cells cropping on Pakistan. Whoops. India gets a cell, so we have to test its posture. And they are soft. So, stays the same. No changes there. Almost forgot about that. Al-Azhar is nice, because that would ding their funding down to moderate, so I'm going to leave this card to last. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and play 2 ops cards back to back. Ooh, hey, that's nice. That could get rid of that cell there. Yeah. I'm going to play Jash al-Mahdi for the event. Play if a Shia mixed country has cells and troops. Okay, and Shia mix again is the green background with the white star and crescent. So Iraq is a possibility there. So we're going to play this, because this has both cells and troops. And it says to remove up to 2 cells. And we're going to go boom, boom. This guy is gone. So this guy is removed from the game. And this guy is removed as well, sent to the funding track. Now, oops, I'm going to put that back there real quick. So this was an event that removed them, so a cadre is placed there. But we do not gain a prestige because that was not a disrupt, that was just a removal. However, we will spend a 3 operation point card, which is going to be safer now, because I don't think we're going to be safe at any point in time in this game, to do a disrupt action in Iraq, which will remove this marker. We are now up to high prestige and no cadres in Iraq, which means that they cannot easily recruit there. They have to travel there, which is good for us. Okay. On a roll. On the backflow. It's up to the jihadists now. There are 2 cards. Their first one is Ansar al-Islam. Play if Iraq's governance is worse than good. It is. Place a cell in Iran or Iraq. Okay. So Ansar al-Islam. Randomly choose between Iraq and Iran. Okay. So, I mean, if I was their position, I would put it in Iraq. But it looks like it's going to be random here. Yep. Random on possibilities. Okay. So 1 to 3 will be Iraq. 4 to 6 will be Iran. And we get a 3. That's unfortunate. It means the cell is placed in Iraq. And this card is removed from the game. Oops, cell phone. 1 sec, guys. Alright, we'll go ahead and look at their second card here while I take care of this real quick. So the next card is going to be Zarqawi. 1 sec, guys. Call you in 5. Alright, so Zarqawi is a neutral event that can be triggered. Uh-oh. Play if either Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, or Jordan has troops. Okay. Of those, only Iraq is possible. So if jihadists play, place 3 cells there and a plot 2. Oh, whoops! Yep, they don't have any cells available. So this is a non-playable US event. You gotta double check all these things. So this event is not played, and instead they will use this for radicalization. I hope I did that right last time. Yeah. So they're gonna radicalize with this stuff. Ouch. Okay. So, oh gosh, that's going to be bad. Okay, so the first operations of radicalize would place a cell if possible, but there are no more cells. The second one will travel, following the travel flow chart. So we're radicalizing. We're going to look at this here. We're going to say, okay, so traveling, we're going to go to a poor country where major jihad possible if plus 2 cells. And the 2 options there are Saudi Arabia and Egypt, of which both of them work because when you look at the priorities, they both have the highest resource, so they're both equally likely to be selected. Oh, no. We have to look at all of these. But yeah, sorry, the conclusion is you actually end up with these 2. I don't think there's any other Muslim countries that has a cell that, yeah, so it doesn't look like that. So it's going to be between these 2. So it's going to be an automatic travel. It's going to be from, what is this? This is a 2 ops card. It's going to be from Islamist rule with cells greater than ops. So it's going to be from Somalia to one of these 2. So we're going to roll a die. 1 to 3 is Egypt. 4 to 6 is Saudi Arabia. It's going to be Saudi Arabia. So this guy gets over to there. Nope, he doesn't go back to the funding track. He goes over there. Okay, so that was the first of the 2 ops for radicalized. The next one would place a plot if funding was less than 9, but it's not. So we go to the last one, which is degrade a good or fair Muslim country's governance 1 level. So there are 5 possibilities here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to roll a die. We come up with 6. Nope. A 4, which is Afghanistan. Afghanistan goes back down to poor. Boop. Oh well. So be it. So Saudi Arabia is getting kind of dicey. We may have to move some troops there. And I may just do this, that. That was our 2 cards, though. So it's over to us now. Okay. We do have a 3 ops card. We could move some troops there just to slow them down a little bit. I'm going to do just that. Okay, so these 3 guys are going to go from the Gulf states over to Saudi Arabia. And they're just going to go there to slow them down, stop them from performing the jihad. And then I'm going to spend a 2 operations point. I'm going to spend Shirak because we're soft and that doesn't fire. And we are going to disrupt once in Pakistan. And this has the added benefit of giving us a prestige, which is pretty much why I'm doing that there. Okay, that is our 2 cards. It's over to the jihadists with their 2 cards. Saddam. Play if Iraq is a poor adversary. It's not. So this is going to be a non-playable. They're going to do the 3 things with that. Okay. So is a major jihad possible? No. Thankfully, we stopped them right there before they could do anything. Is a jihad possible, good or fair? So the answer would be yes, but Benazir Bhutto is in play, and that stops jihad rules from occurring in Pakistan. So the answer to that question is no. Okay. Are there cells available? No, there are not. So then travel will occur. Okay. To eat with 1 cell each to a non-Islamist ruled country with besieged regime, then regime change, then aid. Okay, so this is going to be a 3. Is this a 3 ops? I think, yeah, it was a 3 ops card. So we're going to kind of do this thing again. So the first one is going to be moving to Iraq, but where's it going to come from? It's going to be from an Islamist rule with cells greater than ops. It's going to be Somalia. So we have a Somalia to Iraq movement happening for the first one. The next one is to a poor country where major jihad is possible with +2 cells. As of right now, there are only 2 possibilities, and that is going to be either Saudi Arabia or Egypt. And again, I mean, these are also possible, but we look at the priorities for highest resource first. So that's what we end up with. So we're going to go ahead and roll a die. We get a 1 to 3 is that, 4 to 6 is that. So Egypt comes up. So a cell is going to travel to Egypt. So, but where's it going to come from? It looks like it would be Somalia again. Yeah, I think that's the case. Because even though we know that cell is going to move there, that's just going to... It meets the precondition, so that happens anyway. Okay, the last one is going to be a good or fair country with a cell adjacent. And the priority there is going to be Pakistan. So Pakistan is going to be the target there. And it's going to be from Islamist rule of cells greater than ops. Yes, again. So it's going to be from Somalia to Pakistan. Okay, so a lot of cells are leaving Somalia. So we're going to do this one by one. First of all, we're going to have a cell from Somalia to Iraq. That's going to be a 6. That's a failure, so we get sent to the funding track. Then we're going to have a Somalia to Egypt. That is a success. He gets there. Uh-oh, they're about ready to do a major jihad. And then finally, Somalia to Pakistan. That's a 1. That's a success, so he does get there. Okay, that is the end of all that traveling we just did. That was their first card of the round. So their second... Oops, yeah, I'm missing track of that. Their second card is going to be Biometrics. This is a playable use event card, so this is going to be plotted with. And the plot is going to be in, let's see here, as much possible in the US, nope. Prestige low, no, it's high. So Abu Sayyaf, nope. In countries with troops, okay. In countries with troops, plot priorities, it's going to be in fair, then good, then poor. So a plot attempt is going to happen in Pakistan, it's only day 1. This guy will attempt the plot, and we will go ahead and roll a die here. He gets a 6, which is a failure. Huzzah! Off to a great start. Okay, it's over to us now with our 2 cards. Our first card is going to be Mossad and Shin Bet. I mean, we could... No, it doesn't really do anything. We're going to use the 2 operation points to disrupt once in Pakistan. So this guy goes bye-bye. And this guy gets flipped to active. And that gets us a prestige. Okay. For our next trick, we will... we have 1 card left. We're going to save this card till the end. So we're going to go ahead and have the jihadists play their last card, which is Special Forces. Play if there is a cell and adjacent. So this is an active card because Pakistan meets that requirement. So this is going to be plotted with. And once again, if we follow everything, we come to the conclusion that the card will be placed in Pakistan. Yes, yes, not in the US. Yeah, it's going to be in Pakistan. Because again, it's going to be fair than poor. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and roll. It's going to be a... Oh, it's a 6, so they fail. Huzzah. Okay, our last card of the game, of this, not the game, of this turn, is going to be Al-Azhar, which is a event. Test Egypt. It's already been tested, so that's fine. -2 funding, or -4 if no country under Islamist rule. There is, unfortunately, a country under Islamist rule, that's Somalia, so it's only going to be -2. But this is pretty good for us. Okay, it is the end of the turn. All of the cards have been played. I'm going to go ahead and have the end of turn stuff happen. So funding gets dinged by 1. That puts them in moderate. That's good. Prestige goes down by 1, but then goes back up by 1 because there's an Islamist rule country and then the world agrees with us. And then remove lapsing events. Yep, I think they're all gone. Reserves to 0. Deal a new hand of cards. So it's going to be 8 and 8 for each player. We are equalizing the card advantage. Okay, so that is all the cards played, and that is the end of the turn. This is the end of turn 4 of our second campaign of Let's Play Labyrinth, the War on Terror. So I will modify these chits later. I do have to get going, but we saw quite a couple of changes there, some ups and downs. Afghanistan went back down to a poor, but our prestige is very close to maxing out. We have to be very cautious, though, because if the jihadists can perform major jihad in Saudi Arabia, then we would lose all of our prestige. And they're very close to doing that in Egypt, too, and they would have 4 resources then. So we have to be very, very quick in winning this game, or play the damage control game somehow. We may have to do some disrupting in Saudi Arabia just to get that out of the way. Okay, guys, thanks a bunch for watching. This has been Sani Fakhuri, aka Darth Caboose, and I will see you all for turn 5 in the next video. Thanks again, and have a great day.